Hey everyone, welcome to part 3 of managing family dynamics during COVID-19. So today we're going to talk about managing your own fears and anxieties while also being either away from family, you might be separated from them, you might still be on college campus. You might be with your family, but not all your family, and just managing how that anxiety can affect you and how to help yourself through this situation. We've talked in the past of how to communicate with other family members with their stresses and anxieties, but now I want to talk with you about yours. So the first thing that I want to acknowledge is what anxiety is. So anxiety is the fear of the unknown. And it manifests itself whenever we feel out of control and that there are things that are out of our control. And right now with COVID-19, we all feel like we are out of control. Like there are things that we have no control over, whether or not there's enough toilet paper, whether there's enough groceries, whether we can go to the grocery store, whether we can see family, whether we can help family, helping ourselves, whether family can help us. There are just so many things that are out of our control, and it's making everyone's anxiety increase right now. So recognizing, number one, that anxiety is fear of the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when the government is going to open back up. I don't know if I can go back to school in the fall. So many things are unknown. It's recognizing that, what you can't control. So the way to deal with anxiety is to focus on what you can control and let go of the things you can't. If you spend all of your energy focusing on those things that you can't control, that is going to make your stress and anxiety spiral out of control. So you ask yourself, okay, are the things that I'm focusing on right now, are they things that I can control or things that I can't control? And if they're things that I can't control, how is it serving me to focus on this right now? What can I focus on right now that I can control? So if you find yourself stuck on a college campus and you can't go home and you feel out of control, like I don't know when I can leave, I'm stuck here, etc. So say, okay, well, for today, what is something that I can control today? Is there coursework you can do? Is there reaching out to someone that you can do? Making a phone call, doing a Zoom call, exercising? What is something that you can control today? And then the things that you can't control, finding a way to let go of it, at least right now, at least for in the moment. Just asking yourself, remember, how is this serving me right now to focus on this, to let myself spiral, continue to feel out of control? What can I do right now to regain some of that control? You can control what you do with your time. You can. You can decide whether or not you take care of your body during this time. Exercising, eating well, getting enough rest. You can control who you reach out to today. You can control whether or not you reach out to friends, reach out to family, make those phone calls you've been meaning to make. You can control whether or not you sit down and curl up with that book you've been meaning to curl up with. So just remind yourself, I am in control of some things. I may not be in control of all things or the things I would like to be able to control right now, but I still am in control. The other thing I want to talk about is accepting and validating your own fears and concerns. Letting yourself feel what you need to feel. If you feel stressed, if you feel sad, if you're grieving for either maybe you've lost a loved one or you know a loved one is not feeling well and you can't be with them, if you're grieving for the economic losses that we've had right now, if you're grieving for some of your own economic losses, if you're grieving for the uncertainty of everything, whatever it is, just acknowledge, I'm grieving right now. I'm sad right now. Wow, this all just kind of really sucks. And tell yourself it is okay to feel that way. These feelings are valid. Now, we don't want to wallow in those feelings. We don't want to let ourselves get pulled down to where that's what we feel 24/7. But I'm just letting you know that it is okay to feel sad, to feel grief, to acknowledge that grief, to process it, and let yourself just sit with it for a while, as long as you need to. So I love the movie Inside Out. Again, I've referenced it in a previous video. I love it because what it does is it tells us that all of our emotions are important. fear, sadness, disgust, anger, and joy. So those are some of the 5 main emotions that we kind of cycle through every day, and each one of them is important and valid. And when you try to push one down and say this one is less important or this one is not healthy, like sadness or anger, then we're out of balance. And so I love how that movie recognizes that sadness is just as important as joy. Being able to acknowledge, I feel sad right now. Being able to communicate that to someone, to reach out to a family member, I feel sad right now. That is important. Allow yourself to do that, to feel what you need to feel. I highly recommend you go and look at that movie if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, maybe revisit it, especially if you have some time on your hands. So just to recap, recognizing what your anxiety is. Anxiety is fear of the unknown and feeling out of control. And then recognizing what can I control, what can't I control? And if I'm focusing on something that I can't control, how is that serving me right now? And then accepting and validating your own emotions right now, even the negative ones, sadness, grief, anger, accepting those emotions as honest and even important in this time, letting yourself feel those feelings, talking to someone about those feelings that you're feeling, and then moving on. Okay? Hope everyone's doing well. Stay safe, wash your hands, and please love one another.